See that okay?
Yes. Thank you, Aaron. Hi, Laura.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good. Is Dawn going to join us as well?
He's gonna join us too. We can, speak to whatever you need us to speak to, and shouldn't take very long at all, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, great. I'll get the meeting started and turn it over to you and Dawn. Just provide us an update. Talk about the status of the program, where we're at, and planning for the start of the school year. And then once we're done, you could jump off and we'll continue on.
Absolutely, you got it.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Allegheny Clarion Valley School Board Workshop Meeting for July 14th, 2025. The AC Valley workshops are conducted virtually, and the link to access the workshops are always posted to the AC Valley website at acvsd.org. During the workshop, I will provide the school board members with information that will help to clarify agenda items. So please feel free to jump in and comment or ask questions at any time. And at this time, Madam Secretary, could you please conduct the roll call?
Oh, just in
Clifford
time.
Adams,
Here.
Patty Anderson,
Here.
Carrie Almagast,
Here.
John Burke,
Here.
Brady Fight, Diane Page,
Here.
Jeff Powell,
Here.
Eric Sunling,
Here.
and Kelly Twilliger.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. This evening, we do not have anybody from the public, but I was notified today by Mr. Len Myers and the youth football. They'd like to address a huddle camera with the school board, and Len will be here next Monday during public participation. And as you can see under presentations, we do have two, one for this evening, which will be our partners with Glade Run. If you recall, we did approve a contract for them to provide services to our students for the up and coming school year. We have Dawn Hale and Laura Carlantonio with us this evening. And then next Monday, we'll hear from reps from the Centeg's safety program. They'll be here face to face, and they'll have a rep on their virtual link as well. So this time, I'll turn it over to Dawn and Laura. They're on the line with us, and they're going to provide a program update.
Good evening. Hello. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, I saw a thumbs up and a nod. Okay, I'm not sure if Dawn will be joining me or if she's on here or not. She was having some technical difficulties, so I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit with you about Glade Run Lutheran Services. I don't know exactly how much information you want background, but I'll kind of start currently and give you the great news if Dr. McDevitt hasn't already, that we do have a staff hired, and she's been through new hire orientation already, and she's ready to start when school starts with students. Her name is Diana Whitman. She is a non-licensed master's level clinician with about 20 years experience working throughout different schools in the area. And she will be part-time up to 4 days a week as referrals come in from both schools. She'll be in both buildings, both the elementary and the junior senior high, taking referrals from the schools, the guidance counselors, the school psychologists, the crisis teams, whatever the school decides the appropriate referral avenue is. And then what she'll be doing there is we already have the buildings licensed. The offices have already been approved by the Office of Mental Health and Substance Abuse. They did a site visit in the spring. And we have an office in each building where she will provide individual therapy in a licensed outpatient setting within the school for those students that are referred to us. They also will have access to psychiatric services if that is deemed appropriate by the therapist, or if the parent is requesting, or even the schools sometimes will say, we're really seeing a lot of difficulty. We'd really like the student to get a psychiatric evaluation. And we have 3 different psychiatrists and a full-time psychiatric nurse practitioner who provide evaluations, and then med management if appropriate for students and clients that receive our services. I know it was a long go trying to find a therapist, but we were very, very excited to have this one. She actually was hoping for part-time, almost full-time, but part-time. So it's a good match right now. We're going to bring her up to the school, I believe, next week to meet with everybody, see the buildings, meet with whoever's there. I know it's summer, it's a little bit difficult, but just to kind of start to get her acclimated to the district. We really want our therapists that we work in the schools to become part of that culture of the building. So we really want that collaboration between Glade Run and the school psychologists, the guidance counselors, the teachers. Every student and parent will sign a release of information for the school, and we can that helps us collaborate with teachers, not sharing all of the nitty gritty details of therapy, but keeping everybody informed if something major is going on, and vice versa. And also just that ongoing collaboration piece that is so important. We are in, I think, 5 different counties now providing services. We're in Venango County, Clarion County, Butler County, Beaver County, Allegheny County for outpatient and school-based services. So we are this program has been expanding. There really is a desperate need. I'm sure you all know that, particularly in rural areas, but also in every area right now for therapy for students and families. Did I miss anything, Dr. McDevitt? I'm trying to think what else people might want to know.
No, you provided a good overview, and we appreciate working with you. And I can't wait to meet the new therapist. At this time, do we have any questions for Laura before she concludes her presentation?
I see a hand raised. I don't know how to do this. Go ahead, Carrie.
Hi, Laura. Did you
Hi.
say she was unlicensed? I just or licensed?
So she's non-licensed. So all that means
Okay.
is she's not like an LPC or an LCSW, but she is a master's level clinician with a lot of experience.
Okay. Is there, I mean, just for my own education, I wasn't
Yes.
sure if that would potentially create any issues with any of our students with insurance or any of those things.
Yep. That's a great question. Actually, so she will be able to accept students that have medical assistance, any form of medical assistance, Carillon, community care, and also private insurance, UPMC, because we have an umbrella contract with UPMC. If we get referrals, like a high magnitude of referrals for private insurance students, we can circle back to the school and talk about, any financial assistance that might be provided for that student to receive services. We also can continue to look for a licensed therapist as well. I know we had a lot of conversations with the schools when they lost their last provider or the person in that position, the breakdown of insurance and the higher magnitude where the most need was. So that's a great question. I don't anticipate it being a barrier. It just might cause us to have some more conversations with the district.
Okay, thank you, Laura.
Absolutely. We also, I mean, I don't know how familiar, if you ever wanted us to do a more formal presentation, we're more than welcome to do that, if the whole school board or if there's questions or concerns. And we really try to be very transparent, we will have monthly meetings with both schools. I didn't mention that, but with monthly meetings with both schools just to keep everybody informed, also to check in how things are going, feedback, any major client concerns, things like that. So we really do try to make this a very collaborative partnership.
Great. Thank you, Laura. We appreciate your time, and I'll reach out if we have any further questions or concerns.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you all. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Moving on, we'll go right into any board concerns that we'd like to discuss at this time. Okay, moving straight into the consent agenda, we have a number of items that we're preparing for the start of the new school year. Starting off, we do have a handful of field trips and conferences in front of you on page 7. Aaron, if you could scroll down, I'll provide a brief overview. We do have a request from the superintendent, the West 2 principal, and one of our vocational and reading specialists at the West 2 program to attend the corrections conference. Last year we did attend this. It was out east. Fortunately, it's going to be more local for us in Pittsburgh. And it's a really good conference that will provide us with the ability to make contacts, meet various vendors, and attend several educational sessions. With that being said, we do have that money in the West 2 grant to cover conferences for the 25-26 school year. In addition to that, we have Rachel Pash. She's our gifted educator here on campus, and she put in for the entire year to attend several trainings at the intermediate unit number 6, and that's just various trainings, and then also she'll have competitions up there as well to provide our students with extra support for their GIP needs. In addition, we have Wendy Shabak. She's our speech language teacher, and she put in to attend the SLP Institute. And there was a number of different sessions that she's able to attend. AI for SLPs. They had a secondary transition program set up for SLPs. And then another session is for the emergent communication strategies. And Wendy does a great job for us, and she was really enthusiastic to attend that program. In addition, we have Malia Shrek. She submitted a letters training, and this program provides educators with the science of reading and how to implement that into the classroom. It teaches various ways of phonemic awareness and building skills in the classroom. And most of our core content teachers down at the elementary have already participated in that particular training. In addition, we have Sarah Patton, our new school board secretary. She submitted a request to attend the PSBA School Secretaries Conference. And this is a yearly conference, and we just missed it last year, and one that Tammy Thompson had attended and raved about years ago. So we've been working with Sarah. She got herself signed up, and she's excited to continue to learn more about her particular role and, again, to make contacts with other secretaries across the Commonwealth. And then finally, we have Melanie Cool, our special education director. She submitted a request to attend a program that was highly recommended by Bill Furco, who's our school district's auditor. And this has helped to implement a emotional support program, and she'll be working with other LEAs and provide an evidence-based support system for the current program. And if you remember, Dr. Mays helped to spearhead returning several of those emotional support classrooms and kids back to the district. So Melanie's doing a good job and wants to continue to learn her role and expand her expertise to help serve all of our students. Any questions on those conferences that we have in front of you this evening? If not, you can move us back up, Aaron. So before we get into the volunteers, we do have a couple substitute teachers, Erica Wilson and Beth Pierce. They'll be substituting here. They are certified teachers at the district. And then also, hopefully we'll have two other substitutes for the West 2 program in front of you for next Monday, Michael Archambaugh and Dolores Pellegrino. And they're coming to us through the contracted emeritus service, and we've been working with them. Currently, we're down several teachers, and it's a great need to have additional staff up there to support our educational program. So moving into letter C, I had met with the PTO group last year, and we were trying to streamline their process and to help support their programming. And we talked about getting everything submitted at the beginning of the year, have one approval, and then they can start their planning process. So beginning, you'll see we have a list of the PTO officers in front of you. All these gals are hardworking. They volunteer their time and they support our educational programming. They do a lot of fundraising, which you'll see a little bit later on, that supports the field trips that are tied into the curriculum. So they help to compound the learning with more hands-on experiences for our students. So I can't thank them enough. And the whole list of the officers, and then we also have a whole list of volunteers as well. We're going to continue to target our local community to enhance our support in this program. And one idea we came up with was to have the PTO present at kindergarten orientation to expose all our new parents with those opportunities to see if they continue to volunteer. So if you know anybody who's interested in helping out, please send them our way. But currently, we have the whole list of in front of you this evening that will be helping out with our program. Moving down to letter E, you can see they want to have PTO meetings on the following dates. That is open to not only the volunteers, but also the community as well. And it's from 5 to 6. And we'll notify the custodians to make sure they're aware and, everything's set up to support them. In addition, they will be using the cafeteria for different fundraising throughout the school year. Open house. They're going to have a book fair set up to help, support our early readers. They're going to do a Santa workshop. They'll have a teacher staff luncheon at the end of the year, which is always a big hit, and the staff here at the elementary school really appreciate that. And then moving down into letter L, we'll continue to support other volunteers that we have. And you'll see that we have Hannah Eiler. She's going to volunteer for junior high cheerleading. We have Danielle Lutz. She's going to volunteer for junior high cheerleading. And then we have a host of volunteers for a baseball program who were paid coaches and they stepped down. Mike Weigel and John Irwin, and then also Brock Weigel. He's been a volunteer for several years, and Brock's a AC Valley graduate and one of our baseball players as well. Letter Q is an annual request by John Irwin and the crew down in Foxburg to host the Foxburg Festival. You'll see that's on Sunday, September 28th, 2025. And I did notify Mr. Irwin that we did change our policy here on campus, and we'll be charging our outside guests $5 per car to park on campus that day. In addition, we have Julie Myers. Julie's a district-wide volunteer. She's helped out for the last few years, and we appreciate everything she does. And then Natasha Grabel, she's a volunteer not only for PTO, but junior high cheerleading as well. I'll pause before we get into finance and purchase because we covered a lot of information. If there's any questions or need for clarification, I can address them now. Moving into finance and purchase, we'll pay the bills and get Stacy's report on next Monday, July 21st. But the big discussion tonight is on the top of page 3. We have been doing some work with the CDs and then also our electric and natural gas contracts up. But at this time, I will turn it over to Mrs. Erin Morrison, our business manager, to provide some additional information about our CDs. Erin?
Good evening. So I've been in contact with Pizloff, the company that currently holds the CDs and a liquid account. This was last week, and they said the CD was gaining 4.20%, and that liquid general fund was earning 4.19%. So very little difference. And I asked, actually, what does that mean, or how much does that calculate to? And they told me it's 6 cents per day. So the difference is 6 cents. And so in a month, it would be $1.80. I know with the budget impasse, and I don't know how long that's going to last, obviously. It is time to renew the CD. If the board votes to renew the CD, we can go that route, or we could leave it liquid in just a general fund that earns the 4.19% interest. I guess that's what the discussion would be about. Which way would you guys want to vote to do that? I know we can vote on Monday, but food for thought, that's just what it will be expiring next week. So I wanted to give you guys an update on that.
Erin, just to jump in and to add to that before we get to comments, with this budget impasse, I hear from Harrisburg that we're nowhere close to a budget approval at this time, to the fact that it could move into October and November. So just for some of the folks that have not been on the school board, years ago we had a budget impasse until November. So we had to use all of our reserves that we had. We had some local money coming in through taxes, and we were getting close to having to take out a loan. So the recommendation that we would have from the district office is to leave that into the general fund so that we can potentially use that to help pay the bills, keep the building and district up and running, pay our salary, pay the electric, the water, and such, just for a little bit more clarification and depth to that discussion. Kelly?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you that we keep it liquid, and then once the budget's passed, we can always move back to a CD.
Thank you. Any other thoughts?
No, I think that's a practical solution at the moment.
Thank you, Patty. Okay, I think we have enough direction to provide Erin with guidance moving forward. Letter J, that's a motion that we've had in front of the school board several times over the year. Both of our contracts are going to be up in December, and this motion will provide the business manager and superintendent with the ability to sign and enter into contracts after we have our solicitor, Zach Shekel, review them as well to ensure that he's comfortable with moving. And the reason why we have this motion in there is because the market will be fluctuating greatly from now until December, thinking that it'll continue to increase. And we'll be working with our contact, and we'll continue to monitor this on a daily basis. And when we get the recommendation or we get a number that we feel comfortable with, then we'll go ahead and proceed to sign into that contract. Any other questions or need for clarification on that motion? Okay, so moving right down into personnel, we have a FML leave request from employee number 472 for the up and coming school year. Letter B is a resignation from our social studies teacher, Timothy Bach, from the Western Secure Treatment Unit, the West 2 program. And then below that, you'll see we have a request to advertise and fill that position. We are in great need to fill that position. We have a math teacher opening, and we also have other budgeted items in the grant that we need to fill positions as well. So we'll continue to work and support Dr. Jeffel and the West 2 program up there. The good news is letter D is a motion to hire Dylan Neal for the vacated special education position at the Western Secure Treatment Unit. We've interviewed and toured several educators up there. Dylan was, highly recommended and one that we're hoping to be able to hire. As you can see, we have him down to be hired on the master step 1. We did not put a salary down because the contracts are not settled at this time. So whatever we settle on for the 25-26 school year, Dylan will be paid at that rate. Currently, he'll be paid at last year's master step 1 until the contract's approved. In addition to that, letter E, we did have 2 applicants for the school police officer position. We will be interviewing one of them this week. The other one did get hired at a local school district. The gentleman we are interviewing does have experience. I spoke to him on the phone today, and he lives in the Franklin area and knows AC Valley very well. In addition, we have letter F. We have the job description for the superintendent secretary and accounts payable position in front of you. And we made some slight modifications to that. We did remove the aspect of transportation because that will be going with Courtney Chalmers as the transportation director. And this person will focus in on, the duties down here. So we've removed that job description. Prior to making a recommendation to hire. And we did advertise. We had several applicants for the superintendent and accounts payable position. We will be interviewing this week, and hopefully we will make a recommendation to hire on Monday, July 21st. That's why we have that motion blank right there. Moving down through, letter H is a recommendation from Dr. Jordan to hire Valerie Snyder as the junior high head volleyball coach at a supplemental salary of $1,087. And we're also advertising in-house for a certified school nurse according to the contract. And then letter J is Sarah Black is a recommendation to hire the music director at AC Valley at a supplemental salary of $1,384. She will be replacing Jenny Lowry after almost 20 years. And Sarah has lots of experience. She has several letters of recommendation. She's a current AC Valley teacher, and we're excited for her to join our staff. Then letter K is a motion to advertise and hire an additional one-to-one aide for the 25-26 school year. We have a student who moved into the district who requires full-time support. So as a recommendation from Mrs. Cool, we have that motion in front of you. And then on the top of page 4, we have a motion to hire a new varsity baseball head coach position. And Dr. Jordan will be conducting interviews this week, and we'll have a name, a salary for you for Monday, July 21st. We just have one applicant, and he's a current coach on the staff right now. So we're very optimistic we'll be able to fill that position. Letter M is a letter of resignation due to personal reasons from Juanita Stiglitz. Juanita did a great job for us this past year. We're hoping to retain her for the foreseeable future, but unfortunately, she has to move on. So we are asking to advertise and fill that position as well. Letter O is a motion to hire Heather John. She's an aide at a local school district full-time. She'll be working with us and supporting one of our students after school. So it'll be a part-time position in one of the activities that we offer. And that's the current hourly rate. That could change with the support staff contract when it's negotiated and ratified. And then to finish off personnel, we have 3 one-year contracts in front of you for the school police officer, the meet and discuss group, and the food service director. And these contracts were recommended by Attorney Kuhart to get them in place, even though we have a contract impasse for professional staff and support staff. The salaries will remain the same, and we'll go back and retroactively approve them to mirror the professional staff and support staff raises, whatever they may be. The only change that we have is within the meet and discuss guidelines is with our attendance officer. We're making a recommendation to go from 193 days to 200 days to help support the West 2 summer program, and then also end of year reporting for the administrative team here at the district. Any questions about the personnel items in front of you this evening? Okay, under instructional services, you see we have a whole host of handbooks and updates for you. The principal and admin team will be addressing these next week during their principal reports, except for Mrs. Kristen Thurber. She will be providing updates for the Title I handbook and the school-wide Title I plan. That's letter I and K below you. So at this time, Mrs. Thurber.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for letting me pop on here tonight. I'm going to be out of town next Monday, so I appreciate this opportunity. What I thought I'd do was just kind of wrap up what is going on in the title world so you know where we're moving with that. Our Title I, Title II, Title IV, all of those are closed for the 2024-2025 school year, just waiting for the FERs to open. The controller hasn't opened those yet. I did want to mention this before I go into the handbook discussion, however. For the 2025-2026 school year, some of you might be abreast of this information, but Title I is still available to us in our consolidated application. However, Title II, with the allocation set at about $24,000, and Title IV, the allocation was set for about $14,000, has been cut federally from our consolidated application. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there before that gets away from us, and I won't be able to provide that federal program update next Monday. I did have an email into our regional coordinator, and she said there were no other updates on that. So I just wanted to let you know about that change in the budget. As far as the Title I school-wide handbook and the school-wide Title I plan, they kind of work hand in hand based on our Future Ready Index. So the Title I school-wide handbook is created using the data from that index, which also informed the development of our school-wide plan on the Future Ready Comprehensive Planning Portal. So it's all kind of tied together based on that index. And the thing I think Lori explained when we talked about our TSI designation last year is that you're always kind of a year behind when you do these reporting and these planning. So the Title I school-wide handbook and the report that was on the that PDE portal is all based on the 2023-2024 school year. So, or yes, excuse me, 2023-2024 school year, right. So the things that they reported for that in terms of strength, which is what the Title I handbook and the report is based on, is that the key strengths identified in the report included strong student attendance, which is an improvement for us, and the career standard benchmarks. Some of the areas that were needed for improvement were that our interim goals or growth standards in both ELA and mathematics were not met. So what I did is I took a look at that, took the recommendations, and built into the plan and our handbook where we are moving forward. And those include things like beefing up our MTSS support, being transparent with that process, parent involvement, and some intervention strategies were built in there. So those are all there for you, both the handbook and the school-wide plan for you to take a look at. And certainly if you have any questions, you can mention them next Monday after you have some opportunity to look at those. And I'd be happy to get back to you after you have some time to review them. Any questions for me? Oh, just on the grant front, I did meet the deadline for applying for the NFL grassroots grant. So the announcement, the grant announcement notification is set to come out in September. So I will keep you posted on that. And as a reminder, that was $100,000 to offset the cost of the field. So fingers crossed on that one. And that's really all I have to report. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take them now.
Thank you, Mrs. Thurber. We appreciate your time.
You bet.
I'll direct your attention down to letter L. That's a a motion to approve Big Smiles Dental as our mobile dentist services for the 25-26 school year. And then also Dr. Leonard, who's been our school doctor for several years now. He's from the Health Services of Clarion. In addition to that, we provided you with the updated enrollment, class size data, and staff information from the or for the 25-26 school year, getting started with the new school year. So that's a yearly update that make sure you take a look at that. You can see some of the classes and staffing that we have going on. And then on the top of page 5 is an agreement with Vector Solutions. And this is an online professional development program that was recommended by the Union School District. As a matter of fact, 16 out of the 17 school districts at IU6 have this contract. We had used Simple K-12 for years. It was a ARP ESSER purchase, roughly $10,000 per year. Staff members really enjoyed it, but it was a very costly endeavor. Vector Solutions, due to the contract that we have with Utica Insurance, is going to cost us $1,250 per year. So we have that contract in front of you to approve. It's going to not only provide professional development for our teaching staff, but also for our coaches. And there's a cardiac arrest program in there, as well as concussion management and a couple other first aid and CPR classes in there. So that's something that comes to us highly recommended. And potentially, if we get all 17 school districts at IU6 involved, we can explore cost saving options as well. So that's going to be a highly recommended online learning platform in front of you for July. Are there any questions about the items that we just discussed before we move into policy? Okay, currently we have in front of you the second reading for policy 317, conduct disciplinary measures, policy 317.1, educator misconduct, policy 320, freedom of speech by employees, and policy 718, service animals as attached. PSBA did release updated policies that I'm reviewing right now, and we may have some additional policies in front of you, one being the OG policy 626. Some of the information is changing within there, and that's our purchasing policy, and we want to make sure that's updated as well. So I'm working with Sarah right now to get those updated. And then in addition to 626, we have policy 626.1, and then we also have policy 827, which is conflict of interest. So I just got those printed out today and going to review them throughout the week and put them in front of you for the first reading on Monday, July 21st as well. And on Monday, we'll hear from James. He's been doing a lot of work. Just a brief update. We've been working closely with Amos Rudolph and the architectural firm. We did post a RFP today for the football field and ADA parking. We'll have that motion on the agenda to approve. Just keep in mind it has to be posted in 2 different papers for 3 weeks. At the end of 3 weeks, we'll review the proposals, and hopefully we'll make a recommendation to hire on a construction firm to dive into those projects. We'd like to get into that football field as soon as possible so that we can have the grass mature before we start playing on it in the fall of 26. We're also working to get the RFP out for the track, and we've done a lot of work for the auditorium as well. So Amos has all the drawings set up. We had a meeting. We're really excited about those 3 projects to get started in the near future. The parking lots, again, due to permitting and concerns that Amos has with the time frame, will most likely be out next spring. That would be the spring of 2026. So moving down through, any questions about that facilities update? I'm sure James will provide some additional information as far as what they're doing. His team's down here working hard, and the custodians are cleaning and preparing the school district and the buildings for the start of the new school year. Okay, under transportation, Mr. Sherman's going to help to provide any kind of updates to the transportation handbook that we have in front of you. We have Pam Myers. She submitted a request to update her van as well, so she's going to add a 2022 Ford Transit. We also have a list of our current van and bus drivers in front of you. That was a recommendation that we had from years ago with an audit, so we just put that in front of you as full transparency and to ensure our compliance. And then we also have Bobbert Busing. They're making a purchase of a 2009 Bluebird 72 passenger that will replace current Bus 5. And then Bailey Busing, they're going to add a 2021 International to the fleet. Any questions on transportation at this time? Okay, moving down through, we'll hear from our reports for the upcoming meeting. We've had a couple committee meetings, but not very many as far as that goes. And I think that's all we have in front of you for this evening. Are there any questions or old business, new business that we need to address at this time before we conclude the meeting? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the meeting out for this evening, and we'll see everybody face to face next Monday. Have a great week.